African woman, African man, Adam and Eve were not your ancestors. Please get it well. I shouldn't be telling you this. You should know it. Adam and Eve were not your ancestors. Those are figures and characters created by the whites in the Bible to keep you programmed. The story of Adam and Eve is not your story. That story doesn't exist in Africa. You see, the problem that we have caused to ourselves as Africans was to put away what we should have built upon as Africans, that spirituality that we put away and embracing a foreign man's religion. That was the beginning of our downfall. For you to accept that Adam and Eve were your ancestors and Adam sinned and we are all sinners is a lie that you will ever embrace. And the greatest atrocity, crime ever against humanity is to make him feel, is to make her feel that someone has committed an atrocity or someone has sinned, and out of that we are all sinners, and that someone too has come who is from Adam and has died for your sin. How can you believe such a lie? I've been there before. I've been in that religious programming before. Those who know my old timeline know me. That I was that one zealous guy who was running a rat race in illusion, claiming I was spiritual and I was serving a God, not knowing I was lying to myself and I was working in an illusion and living in a whole lot of fantasies. Adam and Eve were not your ancestors. If you want to know your ancestors, my sister, your ancestors were not white beings. Right now, when you talk about Adam and Eve, what comes into your mind subconsciously is even some white man and white woman being in a garden, and God in a white light came, and a whole lot. They are all lies meant to program you. You being on earth today, you are responsible for everything that you do. You create your own reality. You create the devil. You create that God. You create light. You create darkness. Listen, your thoughts shapes your reality. You were not born a sinner. You are God from womb. You don't go and need to have to go and then confess, I have sinned because Adam sinned. I have accepted Jesus. It's foolishness. I'm telling you the truth. African man, you are brainwashed. You are asleep. That's why when we say these things, you begin to fight. You see, you begin to feel threatened because you've allowed a deity, that Yahweh entity, to take hold of your brain. So you can't even think, and you can't see clarities. You can't see between. You can't read between the lines. When you are lied to, you don't even know. It's not your fault. You were born in a programming. You were born in a programming, in a religious programming. So it's not your fault. You grew into it. You were not allowed to experience life yourself. You were given a name, a church, a tribe, a religion. That is your problem. Those things that are given to you are all illusions. All those identities that they give you are all illusions. You have to wake up. You really have to wake up and realize that all is not well. Doesn't it occur to you when you are there that all is not well? No. What I'm seeing, no, it's not what it is. Doesn't it occur to you that how this world is going and the things we've held on to and the things we have believed. Like, don't you, doesn't it occur to you? Are you asleep? Sometimes the food you've been eating, those junk fries that you go and buy at the malls and those eating joints, no, when you eat it, how do you feel in your body? That's the white man's food. The one who told you Adam and Eve was your ancestor is that same person bringing you that food to eat. And you believe it. You believe it. You believe it. Someone will fabricate a story. See, the white men, they are very logic. So they can lie to you in books. They can, you see, for them, they've mastered writing. We didn't know what writing was. We could speak, but our life was not in books and writing. Our lives were a practical, personal experience. So everything we experience, our ancestors, they were reflecting them and engraving them in images and carvings. They were not using letter writings and numbers. And that's why they became powerful. The ancient Kemet, in the pyramid, you see writings, you see the Ankhs, you see Horus, you see the pineal gland, you see all those art. So art began with us. That is why even in the entertainment world, it is blacks that are taking over, because we were made of art and skill. But they came to steal all these ideas. They entered into where they shouldn't enter, and they stole the scrolls, and they manipulated our history. And now it seems like if you don't accept the Yahweh, you are lost in life, that you can't move on. But it's not true. It's a programming. It's a brainwash. That Yahweh entity is not your God. Twediampon kwame, asase ya, twediampon kwame. That's the real God. Don't lie to yourself. This life is your own reality. Whatever you accept becomes your reality. Some people have lived all their life in lies. They've lived wrongly, 70 years, 80 years. But the person has believed in a lie, has been programmed. But for us, we are awakening. We've awakened. Longevity doesn't mean you are doing the right thing. The fact that you have lived long doesn't mean you've done the right thing. The fact that you are growing doesn't mean you are doing the right thing. The fact that you are growing in the physical doesn't mean you are doing the right thing. The fact that you are having gray hairs doesn't mean you are wise. The fact that you are having gray hairs doesn't mean you are doing the right thing. That's wrong. The quality of life is not in the longer days we spend on earth, but how we lived our life, how we understood ourselves. Don't play. Life is not a joke.